Good morning, everyone. Thank you for your participation in today's session. My name is Feifan Zhuang from Wind Information. I'm so glad to be here today and introduce Wind Financial Terminal to you. Today, we are going to introduce how to invest in bond market from multiple perspectives with different instruments from the terminal. In the series of Wind Insights, we will provide you a series of training programs involving several different perspectives in financial market. I strongly believe that you have already participated in our former live stream, which introduced the function related to like the economic research and also the stock market research, bond market research, and so on. And today is the 7th session. I will keep going to introduce the topic related to bond market, which is investing in bond market from multiple perspectives. I will provide you with further comprehensive bond functions in Wind Financial Terminal. Okay, before we dig into the terminal, I would like to introduce our company briefly. Wind was founded in year 1998, and after 24 years of dedication, we have become the leader of financial information provider in China. Our clients include the world's top investment banks, as well as research agencies, financial institutions, regulators, listed companies, and so on. Now, our office operates not only in mainland China, but also in Hong Kong, in Singapore, New York, San Francisco, and so on. I strongly believe that our service will satisfy research need for all financial participants. And here is a brief introduction of our company. Then we can start with our session of bond investing. Okay, further investment in bond market will include 3 parts over here, which will help you to find the market opportunities in different perspectives. First of all, we will introduce the quotes and assistant tool. This section will help you to get the latest quote of yield price in different bond categories. And also, I will introduce the assistant tool for the calculation. And the second, if we are going to find more investment opportunities, like invest in urban investment bond, the credit and yield analysis should also helpful in your analysis. And finally, we also provide the data report for you to review the whole bond market. So, therefore, after my presentation, you can find a comprehensive investing tool in our terminal. Okay, let us start with our first part, quotes and assistant tools. First of all, during the trading period, how to reach the latest bond market price is the key point. So in our terminal, the bond overview is the front page for the bond specialist. And we will not only get the bond price change, but also we can monitor the interest anchor, like the T-bond, the CDB bond, and so on. So now we can just enter the bond overview to find the information as we want. The shortcut is number 5. So right now, we can go to our terminal to take a look. First, we can enter the shortcut, number 5, to enter into the bond overview. So we can see in the left-hand side, it shows the asset price of key underlying. We can see include the 10 years government bond, 5 years government bond, CDB bond, and so on. And when we click it, we can see the price trend will showing over here. So which can really helpful for your analysis. And after that, we can see in the center, we can get a trading price in different bond and also different duration, which can help the investor to catch the daily volatility and the bond time structure. And in addition, we can see in this page, you also include the leading price over here, including like the DR001, DR007 in the leading price sector. At the same time, we can see at the bottom of this page, it also provides like the latest news, the trading result, and also the open market operation we're also showing over here. So we can see with such a terminal, it is easier to catch the dynamic of the bond market. So let's go back to our slides. Then we can see in the bond overview, which is also called the front page for the bond specialist, it provides the latest price of the bond in the various categories. So this is the first part, which includes the bond overview. And not only the bond overview, we can see after we understand how to get the yield price, the money market is also a significant part for the bond specialist. So we can enter into the money market site or enter the IMM to reach it. Okay, so we can enter the shortcut. Let's go back to our terminal and we can enter the shortcut IMM, which is the shortcut of money market overview. Then we can enter into this page. We can notice that in this page, we can overview all the main repo rate in time. For example, we can see it provides like the fixed repo rate, deposit-based interbank pledged repo, and also include the Shanghai Security Exchange repo and the Shenzhen Security Exchange repo. All such information we're showing over here. And we can see the page also provide the open market operation of central bank. We can see on the right up corner, it provides the open market operation of the central bank, which may also a key concern for the bond specialist. And the other reference rate can also be found as we need. We can see like the foreign currency benchmark and also like the SHIBOR and other reference interest rate we're showing over here. And then we can see, in addition, in the lower right corner, we can see the market liquidity in motion showing over here. And we can see which shows the attitude of the market participant. Once the money market goes tight, the color will showing in orange or even in a dark yellow. And in contrast, it will be in blue, which means the market emotion is being more easier. So if we want to see the more detail about the market liquidity motion, we can also click here to get the more detail over here. So we can see in this page, it provides the market liquidity information index, which is provided by China Minsheng Bank. And over here, we can find the explanation of this emotion number and also the trend of this emotion in the recent 1 week. So we can see in this page, we can get the detail and then the explanation of such number, which can really helpful for you to understand the whole market liquidity performance. Okay, so this is about the market liquidity motion in the money market sector. Okay, let's go back to our slides and we can see in the money market overview, it provides multiple sources of repo quotes, central bank operation, and also the market liquidity motion on the right bottom corner. Okay, let's keep going. In addition, besides in the China bond market, the negotiable certificate of deposit, or even known as NCD, plays an important role, especially in the primary market. So we can see in the NCD page, it shows how the process of negotiation between the issuer and the investor, which reflect the relationship between the demand and the supply. So how can we understand the demand and the supply of the NCD? We can just enter our terminal, then we can find it. So we just enter the shortcut NCD to get the information as we need. So we just enter the NCD into the NCD part. Then we can see when we enter the page, we provide a special column called the primary market, which is different from the result of issue, which is exactly a unique feature which is compared to other terminal. So it makes us to be more easy, as I mentioned, to realize the process of the negotiation between the issuer. So how can we explain such process? For example, we can see take this bond, for example, we can see there is a small number, we can see +1 behind it. What does it mean? It means that initially the NCD bond, the issued price is 2.3%, and after the demander and the supplier, after their negotiation, the price goes up 1 basis point. So that is the reason why, as I mentioned, in our terminal, it can really helpful for you to do the analysis between the demand and the supply of the NCD, especially in the primary market. This is a unique feature which is different from the other terminal. So as I mentioned, this is our feature which may be different from others. And we can see other bonds may also provide such information as you need. Okay, let's go back to our slides. Then we can see in the NCD part, it shows the development of the yield curve of primary market, which reflect the relationship between the demand and the supply. And besides, if we need to get the historical data, the yield history, we can see it will be helpful, which is good help for you to analyze the spread and also the yield. So if we want to get the historical data, the yield history sector may be really also helpful for you. So we can also go back to our terminal to take a look with it. So we can enter the shortcut YH yield history. Then we can enter into such page as we need. As I mentioned, in the yield history, we can search the bond as we want. As we mentioned before, I will take the NCD, for example. If I want to take the historical data, the historical price of the NCD, how can we get it? It is really simple. We can find the search bar over here. Then we can enter the bond that we want. For example, we want to search the bond of the NCD. And right now, we can just take one of it. For example, we can see this bond, we can get a 1 year certificate deposit of the commercial bank over here. We can just double click it. Then such a number will show over here. Then I just press the load button. Then such a result will show over here. This can help you to find the historical data over here. If we want to see the trend of such NCD yield price, we can also click the graph button. Then we can see the price trend of such yield will showing over here in this page. So I strongly believe that in the NCD part, we may not only to get the information of the primary market, and also if we want to see the historical data in the yield history sector, can also help you with it. So let's go back to our slides. As I mentioned, the yield history can be a useful section, help you to analyze the spread and also the yield. This is the NCD part. And at the end of our first part, I will also like to introduce the bond calculator for you. Our terminal provides several assistant tools for the bond specialist, and I strongly believe that the bond calculation is the most frequent use for you. So right now, I'm going to show you an example to how to calculate a bond price with our own forecasting. So how can we use it? First of all, we can see this calculator. This is really simple and powerful. And how can we use it? We can just enter into our terminal. Then I can show you how to do it. The shortcut is the BC1. Then we can just enter the shortcut as we need, BC1. Then we can enter into the bond calculator. Okay, we can see once we enter into the page, we can notice that it is a multifunction panel which is powerful and easy to use. We only need to enter the parameter that you forecasted in the yellowish blank. Then all the other results will change as you need. For example, first of all, once we confirmed the target bound, we first need to confirm the target bound. So we first need to enter the target bound. And right now, for example, I enter the bound 230-205. This bond is issued by China Development Bank. Then after that, we can see the initial parameter will showing over here. And after that, we can also adjust the parameter that we want. For example, we can see like the YTN. Right now, the YTN is 2.635 showing over here, but it may be different from our own forecasting. So right now, I can just enter our forecasting. For example, if my forecasting is 2.8 0.8%. Then I press enter. Then we can see once I press enter, other result will also change automatically, which is exactly really easy for you to get the latest or even your own forecasted clean price and dirty price will showing over here. And also we can adjust it the valuation resource as we want. Right now over here is from the China bond valuation. If I want to change the result from CFAX valuation, then the result will also change over here, which can really helpful for your bond price forecasting. And in addition, we can see at the bottom over here, the interest spread can also be calculated in this page. We can see we can just choose the benchmark, then we can get the interest spread. For example, right now I can just change one of the benchmark. For example, I choose the 2300018, which is a treasury bond. Then after that, we can get the interest spread as we want. So as we press enter, then we can get the spread as we need. And also we can see it provide like the G spread and also the Z spread over here as you need. So we can notice that such a calculator is really easy for you to use. Okay, so let's go back to our terminal. We can see such calculator. It is simple and powerful. We can just enter any such kind of parameter that we need. We can see we can just adjust the parameter with a yellowish background for the trial calculation. And such calculation result can be saved as the facility transaction negotiation. Okay, so this is about the bond calculator. And also with all this function in the first part, I believe that you can really easy to get a trend from the market data and calculate the result reasonable price with your forecasting. Okay, this is the first part. Then we can enter into the second part. In the second part, we are going to introduce the credit and the yield analysis. Okay, we can see when it comes to the credit bond, the urban investment bond is also playing a key role in the China bond market. It provides a significant financing source for the urban government. So in the viewpoint of credit analysis, as I mentioned, our terminal can also provide a rich information for such a research. And right now, we are going to the local government financing vehicle part, which is really helpful for you to do the credit data analysis, especially in China. So how can we enter into this sector, LGFV? We can just go back to our terminal and we can enter the shortcut LGFV, which is the shortcut of the local government financing vehicle, which is a financial source from the different region. Then we can see in a page of the urban investment bond research, the local government financing vehicle map is the most frequent used function. So we can find the issuer in a more intuitional way by the map. So we can see, first of all, we can have a look on the whole country of China. So we can just choose the China and confirm it. Then we can see the whole China map showing over here. Then we can notice that if the color is in dark, which means that there is more local government financing vehicle, which is some kind of a company which provide the financial resource to the local government. So we can notice that especially like the Shandong, it have already provided about 273 financing vehicle over here. And in addition, we can just click different province as we want to see the detail of the different province performance. For example, I can choose like the Shanghai district, for example. Then we can, first of all, we can choose Shanghai. Then we can choose like the Pudong district. Then we press confirm. Then the Shanghai map will show over here. And in the yellow part is the Pudong district. We can notice that in the Pudong district, there are 8 corporations over here. We can notice the 8 corporations who issued the urban investment bond. And also we can notice that such 8 companies were showing at the bottom over here. And we can really pretty easy to get the detail. So we can just click the button's name behind it. We can get the information of such a company. And also if we want to get the more detail over here, we can just click the company's name. For example, I choose this company, Shanghai Land, this company, for example. Then I can enter into this company issued one bond for the more detail as we need. So we can find such the information of this company, and if we want to see other bond which issued by the same issuer, we can just scroll it down. Then we can find the same issuer. Then we can find how many bonds the issuer who may issued over here. If there are more bonds that they may issued, then we may have a concern about the repayment ability of the different company. So this is exactly a good way for you to do the analysis. And also, we can just go back to our LGFV map sector. In addition to the introduction of different companies showing over here, the LGFV map also provides the economic situation of the different provinces or region on the right-hand side, which is a good reference for you to find the repayment ability in a different area. As we know, for a different financial ability, it may be a good reference for you to find out the repayment ability. So we can see in this page, it provides like the debt burden, the economy, the financial strength, and so on, which can help you to do the analysis, especially in the repayment analysis. So we strongly believe that with better financial performance, we can expect higher ability of the repayment. So such page which collect all the analysis information that you may need in the LGFV map. So okay, after my introduction, let's go back to our terminal. Go back to our slides. We can see in this page, the terminal provided nearly 20,000 urban investment bonds and also more than 3,000 urban investment company over here. And we can have a comparative analysis can be carried out from the multiple dimensions, as I mentioned, like the debt burden, economic situation, and so on, which is exactly helpful in the urban investment bond research in the credit analysis. Okay, this is about credit analysis, and after that, we can enter into the yield analysis part. Then we would like to introduce the yield curve. We can see if you are going to find the more trading opportunity with the changing shape of the yield curve, the yield curve sector is also a good tool for the bond trader. So the trader may use the curve become flattened or even steeper to build up the trading strategy as their forecasting. So we can just enter into the yield curve sector to find the shape of the different curve. So we can just enter the shortcut yield curve sector to find out any trading opportunities. Okay, so first we just enter the shortcut YC, enter into the yield curve. Then we can notice that in this sector, we can see it discovered various yield curve data showing in the graph or in the mathematical data over here. We can see this is in the graph, and also you want to get the mathematical data, we can click the data button, then we can get it. And right now, we will be more focusing on the graph part. We can see right now, we just take the China bond, government bond yield curve, for example. Then we can see in our terminal, we provide the shape of it, of the latest yield curve. And we can notice that it is upward, which is a positive slope over here. And we can see not only we can just get such a shape over here, we provide two main functions, unique functions that you may need. The first one is the superposed time, and another one is the superposed curve. This function can help you to do the comparative analysis. For example, in the superposed time, we can compare the different time of the yield curve. For example, today is the January 31st, the last day of January. I can compare this date curve with the last month's performance. So we can compare the result with the last month's performance. Then I can choose the date as we want. Then I press OK. Then we can get a changing of such curve. We may notice that in the blue part, this is the latest result, and the brown one, which is the last month's result. we can notice that the whole curve is moving downward. So right now, if I am a trader, such kind of downward movement should also be a good strategy, a trading strategy for you as a reference. And in addition to the supposed time, we can compare different time of the curve. We can also use the superposed curve. In the superposed curve, we are going to compare with different kind of curve as we need. Right now, the curve is the China bond, government bond yield curve. We can compare such curve with other countries' yield curve. So we can compare such a result. For example, we can compare the US bond yield curve like the T bond yield curve. Then we just press OK. Then we can notice that we provide different curve showing over here. The blue one is from the China bond government bond yield curve, which is a positive slope curve. But in contrast, compared to the US T-bond yield curve, we can notice that it is a negative slope of the curve. So if you are a trader, such kind of comparison can really helpful for you to build up your own trading strategy through the yield curve sector. So such comparison can help you to easier to find such kind of trading opportunities with our terminal. So as I mentioned, with such kind of the curve and also the changing shape over here, not only the upward movement, downward movement, or the positive or negative slope, such kind of the terminal can really help you to do the analysis. So in such a yield curve sector, we can find the trading opportunities as you want, which cover the various data, and we can build up our different time and curve with the supposed function, as I mentioned before. So in conclusion, in the second part, with the credit and yield analysis, we can find rich investment opportunities, and also we can conduct the several strategies for the investment needs. Okay, this is the last page of the second part, and right now we are going to enter into our last part, which is the data report. We are going to introduce the data report, which can help you to conduct the research in the bond market. Okay, let's go ahead. So we can see in the bond market overview, we can get the whole market statistical data in the different sections. We can see as you need on the left hand side, which is showing over here. And in addition to the bond market overview, the most population section include like the NCD market overview, and also the outstanding statistic, maturity statistic, the bond basket information, and so on. So I will introduce each of them one by one later. So first of all, we need to enter into this page and find the information that we want. So the shortcut is the BMO. So we just enter the shortcut BMO to reach the page, which is the bond market overview. So once we enter this page, we can take a look on the overview of a Chinese bond market. We can see on the top of this page the total outstanding data and the historical trend showing on the bottom of the page. If you want to see the outstanding data in more categories, we can also scroll down. Then we can get them of the information showing over here. And in addition, we may also get other information about outstanding statistical data showing over here on the left hand side. I strongly believe that you must be pretty familiar with such kind of function, which we introduced in our former session before. So we can be more focusing on other topics, and one of the popular topics should be the NCD section. We may notice that the NCD market overview is exactly on the top over here, so which is really important for our investor. So we can just click it, then we can enter into the NCD market overview. In the negotiable certificate of deposit, it is an important role, important tool for the bank to allocate the funds. So the terminal also provides a single section for you to look up. We can see the NCD market overview, which is a single section for you to look up. And in this section, you can find the net amount. We can find the first of it is the net amount, and also we can find like the issuing data, and also like the maturity data, which can help you to do the analysis of the bond NCD issuance. So such kind of it can really help you to do the analysis focusing on the NCD part. And we can see, in addition to the NCD market overview, and then in the market maturity statistic data may be showing following over here. We can see, we can find the bond issuance and also the maturity information showing over here. And the most significant part should be the category or the field part on the top of over here. We can notice that when we are going to conduct research of the bond, no matter it's the issuance or the redemption, the page supports several filters on the top of page. And in addition, we can view the issuance repayment trend and the net financing also in the graphically part over here. So we can see, we can choose the date as we want, and also we can change the frequency, not in the monthly, maybe also in the quarterly. Then we can get a result, press the load button, then we can find all the issuance and the redemption trend showing over here as the analysis needs. So this is the bond issuance and the repayment and the maturity part, which can helpful for the analysis in the maturity statistic. And after that, if you want to get statistical data for the specific bond, we can scroll it down and find the basic information over here. We can see it include all the bond that you may concern, like the government bond pre-issue, local government debt, and also the NCD. We also included over here. So in this part, it provides all kind of bond that you may concern. You may click one of it to get the information we need. And right now, I just click the government bond, for example. Once I click it, we can choose the day range as we want, and also after we get it, we can scroll down on the right hand side. We may get the detailed information like the type of interest, the maturity date, and the remaining maturity, and so on. So such kind of information, the result also can support for you to do the analysis, and also we can export such data to the Excel file. We can notice that on the top over here, there is the export button. Once I click it, then such a result can be downloaded in the Excel file. So we can notice that in such kind of market overview, we can get such kind of information that the analyst may be more concerned. So once we go back to our slides, as I mentioned, in the bond market overview, we can be more focusing on the NCD market overview, the outstanding data, the maturity data, and also the bond basic information can all be collected in just one page. Then we can get it as we want. So right now, in conclusion, in the last part, we have already introduced several popular sections in the bond market overview, which I mentioned, including the NCD, also including the basic information, and so on. And all of them, I strongly believe that they are helpful in the market analysis. Okay, and until now, we have already finished today's training program, and if you have any question, and please let me know. Okay, let me take a look from our audience if there is any question that I can answer to you. Okay, first of all, I noticed one question. This is one audience mentioned that what is the function showing on the right hand side of our bond calculation? Oh, okay, exactly a good question. We can just go back to our terminal into the bond calculation sector. Then I can introduce to you in a more detailed part of it. We can just enter the BC1, enter into the bond calculation sector. Then we can see in this sector, as I mentioned before, first of all, we need to enter the target company, a target bond first on the left hand side. For example, 230-205. This is a bond as we want. Then, as I introduced before, I only introduced the left-hand side. We can change like the yield and maturity to get the result as our own forecasting, as I mentioned before. But in the right-hand side, how can we use this part? Okay, this is actually a good question. Let me tell you. On the right-hand side, the main function is to provide the cash flow forecasting of the target bond. We can see, take the bond 230205 for example, the bond will be matured. We can see the bond maturity date should be on the March 6th in the year 2033. And the other best information will show in the top of the page over here. And after that, with such kind of information, we can get the upcoming cash flow information over here. We can notice that the coupon rate is 3.02%. So if the issue price is 100, then we can see the interest rate will result such kind of interest result over here. Then we can scroll it down. Then we can see on each of interest payment day, we can get a coupon, which is $3.2. And after we scroll it down, at the last of it, we can see on the last day of which is also the maturity date of this bond, we will get the interest and also we may get back the principal $100. In the total is $103.02 in the last day and also the maturity date of this bond. So I strongly believe that we may not only do the analysis to combine with our forecasting on the left hand side, we can also combine with the financial cash flow information for the calculation need. So if in a more detail, if some of our investors, they may also want to add up our own forecasting, we can just press the unlock button. We can notice that we can change all the yellowish column as we want. For example, if the coupon is not 3.02, I can also change it in a 4. And after I press it, enter, then all the result will change it automatically. So we can notice that such kind of calculation or calculator, it is exactly really useful and easy to use. And also we can combine all our own forecasting and the result will change as we need. Okay. So this is the basic information and introduction with our bond calculator. Okay. Then I just keep going to answer if there is any question. Okay, let me take a look if there is any question that I need to answer. Okay, let's go back to our slides. Okay, right now that is all about today's session, and I've already finished today's introduction of our terminal and also answer all the questions from our audience. Really thank you for your participation and also have a nice day. Thank you for your participation. Thank you.